Hello, Ambassador Domo and everyone else watching. Welcome to a special live streaming roundtable about music, our second one featuring the producers and hosts of Daily Music Headlines. I'm Tom Merritt, executive producer of DMH and moderator of your panel. We're going to talk a bit about different topics that we have all brought to the table. So let's meet our panelists. I'll introduce each one of you and tell me what song is in your head right now. First, host of Coverville and Daily Music Headlines, the inimitable Brian Ibbott.
Hello, thank you for having me here, even though it's all of our show. Never Gonna Give You Up, believe it or not. Rick Astley, and it's
Did
not.
you just get trolled?
You just rickrolled all our brains.
Yeah,
I kind of
you did.
did. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm editing a show for tomorrow. I did an interview with a recording studio, and one of their bands just recorded a Never Gonna Give You Up cover. So I'm going to be featuring that on the show tomorrow. So there's a reason. There's a reason I'm listening to that song.
Oh, it's research.
That's correct. Yes, exactly.
Next, producer extraordinaire, host of Daily Music Headlines, and as it happens, my wife, Eileen Rivera.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I was just listening to, this is my own personal research because I'm always constantly trying to make sure I'm up to date with all of K-pop. But there is a new group called Cordis from a little label called Big Hit Music. You might know of the main group on their label called BTS. And they have a song called Go. Their new album just dropped on Monday, and they have been promoted as this sort of new K-pop group that never been done before. They really do write their music. They're in control of their music videos. They have a say in their art direction. They have a say in a lot of stuff that a lot of K-pop groups don't when they first premiere. And in fact, a lot of these, I call them kids because there's like, I think the oldest is 20. They're like 16, 17, they're really young. You know, a few of them already have producer credits on major hits in the Hybe label system. Hybe, owns a lot of, they have a conglomerate of labels. And Big Hit is adjacent, but also under Hybe. Anyway, long story. But my point is that there are some talented kids that already have credits on some very successful songs, and they are now debuting as a 5-member group. So I was just listening to that album before here, so that's why I have them in my head. And
So
I can
Go.
hear
Go was the last song you...
Watch me go. Yeah, you have to listen to it. It's for the kids. I don't say that the music is for me, as an old lady, but I see where the generation is going. And some of it is pretty retro, to be honest with you. Some of it is hiking, calling back to a time when we were kids.
90s.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
80s,
I love
90s,
that stuff.
Yeah. So check them out. It's a new group called Cordis, and they're from Korea. But there's a few of them that, one was born in Canada and Korean, so some of them speak English. Anyway, new group on the scene.
Cordis. All right, Rick Astley and Cordis. Next, one of our two producers, Hammond Chamberlain.
Hello, how are you? So
Good.
The question was, what have I listened to today? Is
What's
that what
in your
I'm getting?
head? What song is stuck in your head? Yeah.
What's in your head?
Is it now
I
the
know.
Cranberries?
Exactly.
Oddly enough, it's the cover of Heart-Shaped Box that A Killer's Confession just released a couple weeks ago. So it's because I hang out with Brian that I'm always kind of cover adjacent.
All right. And then the other of our two producers, last but certainly not least, Anthony Lemos. Amos, what's in your head?
Oui, oui, mon ami, je m'appelle Lafayette, the Lancelot of the Revolutionary Set.
I should
I
have known
came
this.
from afar to say bonsoir to the tell King Cassatois, who's the best, c'est moi. Aaron
Guess who
Burr,
saw
sir.
Hamilton?
Yeah, well, I went and watched the Hamilton movie last night with my wife, my oldest and youngest daughters. That line, my wife, the line before that has been stuck in my wife's head, so that line has been stuck in my head since last night, and that's
Is that
Yeah.
a call and answer then that you're doing in the house?
Yeah, there's so much about that musical that we do anyway. Like, anytime we're disappointed in somebody, like just the slight disappointment, like we wanted you to make a call but you forgot, and it's like, you are the worst, but like it's just it's little things like that.
That's
just have flooded into our family. So
Nice.
Aaron Burr, sir, that is the song that is currently playing in my head.
All right. Well, if you're unfamiliar, Daily Music Headlines is a 5-minute audio podcast that can be delivered to the podcatcher of your choice, also available on the Amazon Echo. I have it set every morning to play right after the BBC World Service headlines. Goes right into Brian or Eileen, depending on the day. And in 5 minutes, we keep you up to date on the biggest stories in the music world across the genre. Name a genre, there's been a story about it this month. So go check it out, Daily Music Headlines or dailymusicheadlines.com. Shall we begin our first topic?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. I was hoping someone would say yes. Thank you. Ibbott, what is what topic would you like to bring to us?
Do you remember, can go way back into the recesses of your mind. Now that song's stuck in my head. By the way, did you know that Badia, that was a placeholder when the band was writing the song?
Oh.
They just said, right here it'll be something like Badia, do you remember? And they liked it so much they just kept it.
That's a cool piece of trivia.
That's a Larry Dunn piece, right? From Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Earth, Wind, and Fire, yeah.
Yeah, I've interviewed Larry Dunn.
Of course you have.
Haven't you interviewed?
All right. Do you guys remember the first album that you bought with your own money? Your own money. You worked hard, paper route, babysitting, washing the dishes at home, allowance, whatever. However you got that money, you went to the store and bought an album, whether it was a cassette, piece of vinyl, a mini disc, an 8-track tape. I don't know how old you guys are. Wax recording.
Sheet music?
That's right. Yes.
That's all that was.
I'll start with mine. It was Desolation Boulevard by a band called Sweet, or The Sweet, depending on when you look at their music library. Desolation Boulevard was either The Sweet or Sweet. The big hit from that, of course, was Fox on the Run, but there was a song that spoke to me at that young age of 7 or 8, called The 16s. It was about a group of teenagers, and the chorus still occupies it. It lives rent free in my head from that song. It's
Ballroom Blitz not on that album?
Ballroom Blitz is the lead track. It's
of that album.
Of that album, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we get as soon as you put the needle on that record, and I still have the record, still have the vinyl. It asks if you're ready, Steve, and then
and you say, "My name's Brian," and then
exactly,
Blitz.
Yeah, and then it says Andy, and then it says Mick, and then all right, fellas, let's go. And it never says Brian. I never got to answer. Yeah,
It never asked you.
never asked me, and all the times I played it.
So can I tell us an adjacent story to that?
Of course, yeah.
So and it has nothing to do with music. It's just funny. I took my oldest when she was like 7 to a Spirit Halloween, and they had a ghost face figure, an animatronic, that when you stepped on it, it leaned down and turned its head and said something. So my oldest, Sydney, steps on it, steps to the left, it leans down, looks to the left and says something about, "I see you, Sydney," or something like that. And her eyes went as large as saucers. She screamed and ran away. It said, "Sydney, you're a survivor." That's what it said.
Right, because that's the
great.
character. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Wow,
That's amazing. Well, Hammond, what was the first album you remember buying with your own hard-earned money?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you that I made up for it later. But my first thing I bought with my own money was Vangelis's Chariots of Fire.
Oh, well, that's not. I was
It's actually
expecting
quite
something like
elevated.
the Bay
Yeah.
City Rollers, or
No. It was the Chariots of Fire soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I remember we lived in Germany. I was in 3rd grade. I earned the money. I a couple things in my hand. I chose that one, and I came home and listened to it and like, okay, this is good. But I made up for it because my first CD was And Justice for All. My first DVD was Cunning Stunts. So there's a trend there.
Yeah. Say that last one carefully.
Cunning.
Yep.
Stuff.
Nice pause in the middle there. I didn't even talk about first CD. First CD for me was Yellow's Greatest Hits. You know the band that does.
Oh, you remember? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Got my CD
Ferris
player.
Bueller's Day Off.
That's right. And Secret of My Success, used in a couple of 80s films. But
So wait, Chariots of Fire, was that on cassette?
Yeah, it was a cassette.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Wow.
So
Who's
Eileen,
next?
you're next.
I don't remember. I feel like it might have been a Disney soundtrack, but it just reminded me that I did put money back in the day to the Columbia House, like the cassette subscription to CDs, and I know that's how I got Wham and Duran Duran and Prince, like that. Those were all like my favorites, you know. So I'm just like, what? I feel like I did go. I used my money for that because you know I was telling my parents it's a club, it's a CD club, or
Show
cassette
of
club.
hands. How many of us had a Columbia House subscription?
All the hands went up.
I
All
know
the
I put
time.
money there.
Is it per
Do I-
person, or do we need to raise a hand for how many times we did it? I mean,
Yeah, right.
I don't have enough hands.
I know, right?
How many
But
of
I-
us?
I-
Okay, to weed it down, how many of us actually taped a penny to the card to join the Columbia House?
Oh, I think I
Record?
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
that was my money. Like I honestly don't remember the first like going into a record store and buying something. My parents may have bought it for me. So then it might have been way older, you know. But I do remember doing this bit, and I had the cassette. I'm looking at an old ad, and I could see the Police, Synchronicity. Oh, I remember.
yeah.
And I had the cassette. I had Billy Joel. I had.
God.
Oh my gosh!
I had Chariots
so
of
many
Fire,
of
the
these.
cassette from Columbia House Record and Tape Club.
I had Wham Make It Big. So
Oh my God,
you and
yeah.
me both got Wham from
Yeah.
Columbia House.
Michael Jackson. Like I had a lot of like, the 1984. The year 1984, you bet I probably had, you know, a lot of this from Columbia House.
I
you
have
know?
still 8, I think, LPs of Columbia House Record and Tapes, like discounted, like compilations. I can't even remember what they're called now.
Really? Like the K-Tel
Like the
kind of
the
stuff?
They were
K-Tel
like the
stuff?
K-Tel stuff, but from Columbia House. It was
Yeah.
like Sound of the 80s or something like
Those
that.
K-Tels were those were amazing.
Yeah, they were. It's like now that's what I call music, but it was
Right.
Now that's what
Yeah.
I call K-Tel.
Is that Freedom Rock?
Sure will turn it up, dude.
So what's the early? You I know you can't remember exactly the first one, but what's the oldest one you remember, Eileen?
Oh, I think like Bee Gees, Staying Alive. Like
Okay,
45.
yeah, sure.
But I think that was my parents. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think, you know, like
Well,
I
it's a
remember
45
that.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think they bought, and I just listened to a lot of the stuff. I would just grab it and take it to my room because I had a little record player. But because I was listening mostly Disney soundtracks in my
You still
bedroom.
have those too.
Did you guys have Goin' Quackers?
Going Quackers.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's a Disney album that has got like Donald Duck on it, and he's going Quackers. And
Is it covers? Is it like
It doesn't have Disco
singing-
Duck though. but
No,
it's
no, not
but
that
it's
one.
covers.
Oh, then
of
I don't
songs.
think I
singing
had
songs
that.
with that kind of
Yeah.
voice?
Yeah.
no.
Singing
That
I
sounds
don't
really
think I had
familiar. I don't
that.
think we ever had
No.
it though. Yeah.
I did have Rick D's Disco Duck on vinyl. I'm
Yeah.
45.
I
All right,
remember
Amos. What's your first album you bought with your own money?
I bought 2 on the same day using the same $20 bill that I had earned from working around the house. And my first albums, if I were to do what Hammond did there, so the first tape I was given was Beastie Boys' "License to Ill." It was bought for me. The first ones I bought for myself were "And Justice for All" and "Appetite for Destruction." So Metallica and Guns N' Roses. And then my first CD was Dr. Dre's "The Chronic," and my first music DVD was S&M by Metallica.
Wow.
See, Amos and I were separated at birth.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's a requirement to be a producer on the show. apparently.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Give me that.
Same
give me that-
hairstyle, same.
Exactly.
Brother from another mother.
But yeah, so yeah, it was. I had a $20 bill. I bought it at Kmart, and they were $9 a piece plus tax, and it barely covered it because I was living in Southern California at the time. It was like 8.5% tax or something like that. But yeah, it was Appetite for and Justice for All, and then I found that one while I was looking for Appetite for Destruction, and then I found Appetite for Destruction, had both of those, and just walked right out.
I just bought both.
Yep.
Yeah, smart. We didn't get Eileen and Hammond's first CDs. Did you guys remember your first CDs?
My first CD was And Justice for All.
Oh, it was. Okay, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah.
What about you, Eileen? Don't remember.
It might have been the Bangles. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was really into.
I don't remember my
girl
first
groups.
CD either. I remember the first CD I got because I was already working in radio by the time CDs came out.
Yeah.
So I took one home. It was a CD single of Jerry Harrison's "Rev It Up."
Oh yeah, I know that.
Wow.
Former Talking Heads.
The
keyboardist, I think.
the country station during the day, metal station at night was not going to add Jerry Harrison's "Rev It Up," so they let me take it home.
Yeah, and that was such that's a great song. I have it on one of those Island Records collections, the Just Say Yes or Just Say
Oh,
Yo. Yeah, that was one there. And I think because of that, I think I bought the whole CD. That Jerry Harrison, the Casual Guy.
Oh wow, yeah. Most people have no idea what that is. They
Right,
might know who
yeah.
Jerry Harrison is, but they don't remember that song.
They don't remember that song. Yeah.
In the audience, we got some interesting ones. We got Double Fantasy, Staying Alive,
Another Staying Alive.
some Kate
Yeah.
Bush.
I was
Yeah.
in Yadamandata. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
nice
first
variety.
album was an album. It was vinyl. It was in 1977. It was at the Pomida in Highland, Illinois. I had saved up my allowance. We were in the record section. My sister and I were both approved. We could each pick one album and use our allowance to buy it. My sister picked Hotel California by the Eagles
Nice.
and was over my shoulder bossing me what I should pick. And I remember her complaining to my parents, don't let him buy that, when I chose John Denver's Greatest Hits Volume 2.
Oh wow. Yeah. Volume 2.
Volume
Wow.
2. Because we already had Volume 1.
Sure. Yeah.
You're a completist.
That's right.
And my sister's point, if I remember right, was like, they're going to buy that anyway. Don't get that. Buy something they won't buy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I love John Denver. Did he have enough hits to fill 2 greatest hits albums?
You know what? I don't remember what was on.
Yeah, because it
John
was
Grandma's
Denver.
Featherbed might have been on
It-
that one.
Grandma's
That was on
Featherbed.
Volume 1.
Okay. And
Volume
probably
1
had
was a
Volume
double
1.
album. Volume 2 was a single album.
Wow.
Yeah, Volume 2 was a cash grab.
Yeah, it really
Volume
was.
2 came with a fringed leather jacket when you bought it.
Well, it had Annie's song.
Oh, Annie's song was on Volume 2.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Thank God I'm a Country Boy, the live version.
Okay.
Because the
That probably
original studio was
Yeah.
on the
included
first
on
one.
one. Yeah.
That was my next question. How many of these are like alternate versions? or
Grandma's
live versions?
Featherbed, a new recording.
See,
That's the one with the Muppets.
My Sweet Lady.
Really
Calypso. Yeah.
Oh, Calypso. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's about a
okay.
horse, wasn't it?
Mhm.
It was around the time that everybody was writing songs about horses. Like
Oh,
you had
yeah, that-
Wildfire, you
Horse
had,
Rock.
Horse with no name. Like if you just Horse Rock, yes.
That's one of those K-Tel albums, probably.
Well,
Is that Horse Rock?
Hosted by Mr. Ed.
All right, let's move to our next topic. Eileen, you wanted to talk a little more about the VMAs.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, you reported that it did really well in the ratings, better than the year before and the year before that. So I guess without you guys could just listen to our whole reaction. But what was your favorite performance of the night? Because it's all about the performances. That's really what we watch for. Because
It really is. Yeah.
Ours, our watch along was my favorite performance.
I'll go with mine.
Okay.
My favorite performance during the VMAs was this lady who was shopping with clothes and trying to draw my attention to her while her husband or boyfriend was actually stealing car batteries out the garden door.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's an incredible.
So you
performance.
were at work. Is what
I
you're
was at
saying.
work.
Yeah,
I work asset protection at Walmart. So yeah,
got it.
Wow.
that was my favorite performance of the evening of
Quite a
several
performance,
on that
too.
particular day. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very busy day, so I didn't get to call in and join. But yeah,
I see. Yeah.
If I said my favorite was Sabrina Carpenter, I wouldn't be lying, but I would also be discounting the fact that I really did enjoy Youngblood's performance with Aerosmith and Nuno.
Oh, that's fair.
Youngblood
Yeah.
was fantastic. Yeah, that was that was my favorite. It wasn't Playing in the Sandbox with Tate McRae, but
It really did look like she was rolling around a litter box. It was weird.
You're like, why is the sand not sticking?
they should have
Why
me
is the
come out
sand not
afterwards with a
sticking?
giant scooper.
Lift the dancers out with a giant rake.
It's instead of the leaf blowers they usually use to clean the stage, they're just
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
For those who didn't
Oh my
watch,
God.
I was really distracted by the fact that the sand that they were dancing in did not stick to any of them in any way, shape, or form. It was weird.
It was distracting. Yeah.
Yeah. I was out walking the dog during that portion listening, and I was like, oh, I wish I could see this right now. But Hammond painted such a good visual picture. I really understood what was going on.
That's me. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I mean, then she had some acrobatics and all that stuff. I mean, it was kind of crazy, to be honest with you.
I mean, I guess
So-
they made the right call in having 1,000 Vanguard awards for people over 50 because the ratings went way up.
Yeah.
Molly just said that the cozy tribute was amazing. I agree. It was very cozy.
Okay.
Ambassador Domo liked the Aussie tribute, which is the
Okay.
Youngblood that you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, that was really well done.
Okay. I'm going to go with, I'm going to highlight Doja Cat because she was the first one. People forget about the first artist and how
That's
we were like,
true.
oh my God, she's so 80s. And she opened with Kenny G. How do you explain Kenny G and Doja Cat? But of all the artists, she would be the one to do that. So I thought that was kind of fun. And I was just pretty I was pretty amazed how retro she went. It felt very 80s, the whole time. And I appreciated that. So
Yeah.
I liked her performances.
Molly, we knew you meant Aussie. It's okay.
I know. I just thought it was funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like Doja. I liked Cat's Eye in the pre-show. They did a great
I
job.
need to go back and
I mean,
watch
I didn't say them because they were
they're not in the
pre-show,
main
but
show,
Yeah.
yeah.
But and then I feel like Lady Gaga's, like, of course hers is amazing, but that was her concert we were watching.
If
so
you've
it
never
wasn't
seen it before, it would
designed-
definitely
Yeah.
stand out. Yeah.
It wasn't designed for the MTV VMA. Like a lot of all of these performances are designed, or maybe tweaked from their own concerts, but designed for the show. We just got a snippet. The Post Malone one too. That was just a snippet of the
yeah,
show.
right.
So that's why I didn't mention Gaga, because I mean her creativity. When we were reacting, I was like, oh my God, the word artist, of course. Like that is so Gaga. Like there's just no one that matches her in that way to me right now. That can cross pop, but also be that artistic and groundbreaking. So that combination is tough, but yeah.
The other thing I really want to draw attention to is the fact that the microphone guy did not help Ariana Grande at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No one risked coming out to adjust the microphone
Right.
for poor
They
Ariana.
don't they usually have like a little descender underneath the stage?
I was going to say,
Kind of
there's
goes up and
usually
down.
they're
I've
usually on a
definitely
thing.
seen people run out, head down and like adjust.
I don't understand. Like, yeah, they have other awards show where it just automatically, dips and like you just don't know, right? And when she won the first time, it was fine, and
Yeah.
the second time, and like she
Maybe
kind
it
of
was
finished.
stuck.
Yeah, she was like, "This is
stuck.
ridiculous."
She
Maybe
did,
some
yeah. She said, "This is
production
ridiculous."
assistant was sitting there jamming the down button, and it just wasn't going.
That's possible too. It's a live show, so
Well, LL Cool J should have just come up and picked her up, held her up a little bit.
I know. Or yeah, somebody should have given, like, it would have been funny to give the Apple box, but at least
Yeah.
like
Sure.
whatever,
Something. Do something.
It would be memorable, right? It would be one of
You
those
just
moments
left her.
you
She's
talk
like
about
this.
forever.
One of those
and,
great
she's
moments.
got her papers. She's trying to read, and like.
I guess it is
going
one of
in
those great
heels.
moments as it is with
Yeah.
her going like
Yeah.
this.
Kind of
Oh,
is, yeah.
yeah.
For not good reasons.
Yeah. There were some really good performances. I thought Alex Warren was ordinary.
Oh, that was when we were like, "Oh, Hammond, you could leave," but then you came back for this because he did 2 songs.
He did 2 songs.
And you came back for the song you didn't want to hear.
I got played by Alex Warren.
You did. You thought he was
the
just going to sing the
assignment.
song and leave.
Ambassador Domo wants to know what we thought of LL Cool J's wardrobe.
A wardrobe.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was
had some
wearing space
fancy-
pants and space shirts and sparkle
He
pants
had
the whole
some
time.
Fancy. Oh wait, you think he's forced? No, I think he wanted to bling himself out. He wanted to.
No, I thought it
He's
was
the
fine.
host. He needs to stand out. You know.
Yeah. You know, maybe
So-
not the sunglasses that perfectly reflect the teleprompter.
Yeah,
but
that was funny.
It's always fun to see behind the scenes
It
through
is.
someone's sunglasses.
Totally is, yes.
All right. Any other thoughts on the VMAs? No? Let's move on to Hammond's topic then. Hammond, what you got?
All right, so I decided I want to talk about the best concert that we've been to. The one where it was a revelatory experience for you. It wasn't just music, it was a whole event.
It's easy.
So for me, I think you would have to be
I'll answer for Eileen.
No.
So for me, I've got 2 in my head, and there's the one where Metallica opened for Ozzy on the Ultimate Sin tour, which was great, and then there was the one where Dokken opened for Judas Priest, and both of those were relatively close in calendar timing with each other, but I don't know which one I'd probably rank above the other because they're both. That's when I was like, oh, I enjoy live music a lot.
Mm-hmm. If you had to pick, if you had to put a,
I'd probably go
hand to the
Metallica.
flame.
I'd probably have to go Metallica, Ozzy.
Yeah. Okay. That's a amazing team up.
Yeah, and they were young, so Metallica was just coming out. I think Ride the Lightning was just out when they did that tour. So it was crazy. The other one that I wanted to mention that was super weird was Stevie Ray Vaughan, Run DMC, and ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Weird
Very
mix.
Texas.
Yeah.
Weird mix, and I saw it at the Aloha Stadium in Hawaii. So
Oh, wow. And an unusual venue too.
yeah.
That's
It's great when it works out, though, that it's bands you'd want to see, even if they don't necessarily go together. It'd be interesting to see all 3 of those bands. So,
Well, it was, I saw Loudness, Hanoi Rocks, Steve Stevens, Don Henley, Brian Adams, and Huey Lewis all on the same day in Tokyo.
Wow. I'm still jealous you
fun.
saw Loudness live. That's amazing. So for a change of pace, Eileen, what's the best concert you've been to?
Well, the way you described the question, like there's many concerts that I think I remember in my past that I was like, oh my God, this is the best I've ever seen. Like I mentioned, I think in the first time we did this, Bruce Springsteen. And then I remember, it still sticks out in my head that Lauryn Hill, when she was at her peak, that was one of the best concerts I'd ever been to. That was so much fun. Like the music top to bottom, the feeling in the room and all of that stuff. But, nothing compares to a K-pop concert, you guys. I'm sorry, but like the way you described the question, Hammond, the minute that you said the way it was an event, like this isn't when you go to a K-pop concert. First of all, it depends on the group. But usually there's stuff before the show. Usually the fandom is out. They're out handing, trinkets and little gifts and little like keychains or, stuff with the names of the group members on them or pictures or whatever. It's just a lot of community building, right? There's like people doing the choreography outside. There's just food. People are mingling. There's merch. Everybody's trying to get in line to buy some merch. It's a whole community pre-show, just the way you would like pre-show like a football game. That's what you do at K-pop shows. The bigger they are, the bigger the pre-show. And then when you go into the show, there's usually like they're playing, the music videos from the group, right? And then you're getting pumped up. And then right before the group goes on, like the latest music videos play. So everybody knows those songs. And then they pump up the music and everybody is singing before the group comes on. And then the event begins. And with K-pop, you have not only, the performance, the choreography, the lighting, the staging and all of that, but even in between sets when costume changes, you have something called the VCR. So a lot of times what groups will do, they'll take you through this story. Sometimes it's just very aesthetic and very just look at the pretty pictures of our pretty members or whatever. But if, other groups will give you a story, like leading, hey, like even Blackpink did this, where they were like, at some point, the second VCR, they like broke down. They're in some highway in California. How are we going to get out of here? There's some kind of like through line, maybe some of it doesn't make sense or is really just kind of, like I said, aesthetic, but it's really cool because it adds to the experience. And then towards the end of the show, before the encore, they spotlight the audience. And then the audience is like got signs. The fun stuff is to see is there any creative signs, and if you're in the fandom, there's inside jokes and the ones that are going to get really, like laughter or applause because we all know the same jokes as we're all in the same fandom. And then sometimes what the groups will do, they'll ask you to, hey, we're looking for the dancers. Who can do the choreography? And then we all cheer when someone knows how to do the choreography really great, all that kind of stuff. And the first K-pop concert I ever went to was going to be one of the biggest ones ever, and that was BTS. So that is the one that was during COVID. That was a time when I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I barely know the group. I've been a fan for a little over a year, but I didn't understand. There's like things called fan chants where in the song you chant. There's like there's portions where the audience participates and adds to the song. LA wasn't very good because America is not very good at this period. We're not
don't like
good
to
at
be
it.
told what to do.
I mean, if you go to like Korea or Japan, like they got it down, and you're like, oh my god, you want to bring a piece of paper so you know the
If
fan
just
chant.
as much prep for the concert as the band does.
Yes. So to me, that when you said the word event, that was where I was like, it's the music first and foremost, because if I don't like the music, I don't care what else is going on. I mean, there's plenty of groups that may do this, probably not to the level of BTS, but that do this, and I don't care because I don't like their music. But there is sort of a format for K-pop, and they do they hit those beats, and it's very community driven, along with obviously uplifting and, the artist, because it is fandom for them. But it's an experience, and I feel like there's nothing like that. And the next time I went to a show, I was like, wait, we have an opener? Oh God, wait, they don't start on time? We don't have light sticks? Oh, that's the other thing, we have light sticks. So these are
I can't sit down during the VCR and rest. I gotta stand the whole time.
These are programmed to the stadium or the arena, and they light up corresponding to your seat. And so we may be in a sea of blue, a sea of purple or whatever, but we also may be, creating beautiful like rainbows or, the name, BTS, that kind of thing. So that was basically like a revival to my love of going to concerts, and I love going to other shows. Like I just got tickets to see Ariana Grande. I'm very excited about that.
Oh, cool.
Next year.
We're hoping her mics are all low.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I hope they give her the proper mics. She doesn't have a light stick, and it's fine. I'm there. There's different experiences.
Yeah.
Maybe not yet, because Taylor and Coldplay have the bracelets, and they are emulating K-pop. By the way, that they got that idea from K-pop, and so. Anyway, my point is, I love K-pop, and that's part of the experience. It's like going to the show it just makes you become, I feel like, closer not only to the artist but to the fans as well. And it's just fun to know that everybody else is feeling the same way. And you get that at any concert, like when people sing along to your favorite songs and everybody's singing along at the same time. I don't know. There's just something even more. I don't know, maybe a little over the top, but certainly a little bit more where you're spending a lot more money. But it's just fun, and that is a game changer to me in concerts. So I don't know how Western shows will change. I don't think they need to. I think there's just a certain, it's just the vibe, and if you don't have, sort of an organization like that, you don't need that. But
and by Western, you mean music. Location, not style of music.
Yes, location. Yeah.
Not both kinds of music, country and Western.
I would
The
love for
Western
country music.
hemisphere.
Wouldn't that be fun
Oh,
if country music had
like-
light sticks and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It'd be fun. Like they should. It's such a huge genre. They should do more. But
You
I
know,
mean, it's
we
up to
haven't
them,
watched
you know?
enough Stagecoach. Maybe they do.
Maybe they
There
do.
might be
Maybe
a
they
few.
do.
Morgan
I
Wallen
don't know.
bringing
Oh
light
my
was
God,
next
Morgan
He's the
Wallen.
problem.
Yeah.
He is the problem. He's been the problem for a while. But anyway, that's my long sort of expression on why I love going to K-pop shows. But it all started with BTS. So, yeah, that's the one.
That's cool.
All right,
2021.
Amos. What about your best concert? I bet it's not a K-pop show, but maybe it
No,
is.
that sounds entirely too involved. I would go. So the best concert I've been to, Taylor Swift Eras Tour, hands down. The one that was transformative, though, the one that actually like changed my view on music, would be a concert that didn't actually happen. We had Mary J. Blige and Mary Chapin Carpenter on a USO tour when I was deployed one year. They were supposed to go and do a 2-hour Christmas show for the troops right there on the flight line, where we would be able to leave work and go and watch the show and then, head back to work, right? The Saudi Arabian government shut it down because it was Christmas themed and only allowed them to do one song. And then halfway through that song, they turned the mics off and made him leave. And that was with the Secretary of Defense, William Cohen. He was there too. And the reason I can remember those three, and there's other artists as well, but the reason I remember those three is because I got all three of them to sign my little boonie hat, my little.
Oh, nice.
So, but that really that event really opened my eyes so that like certain music is just not widely acceptable. Even if the music itself is, the intent behind it may not be, and that was the thing that kind of ruined that, was the fact that it was going to be Christmas themed, and that made me appreciate the music that I can listen to, and the fact that I don't have restrictions on the music I listen to for the most part. That was back in '98, I think it was. So I would go with that as my transformative experience, because that was
So
that
it's
really
a concert
opened my
you didn't
eyes.
even get to experience that transformed
Yeah,
your.
that's a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got about 20 seconds into one song, and they cut the mics off.
Wow.
And Mary Chapin Carpenter and Mary J. Blige were doing a duet, so they just kept going, but you could barely hear them because they were on a huge stage with 5,000 troops out there. So,
Jeez.
but yeah, and I got to say Mary Chapin Carpenter in a concert with the. I don't remember the other band, and they were playing Practical Jokes on April 1st, and that was pretty fun. She puts on a good show. So
It's interesting to me that they didn't know that this was going to be Christmas themed. Like they had to wait until the show started to pull the mics. Like
Nobody
that's-
paid attention.
they said they were only going to let them do one song when they found out that it was going to be Christmas themed, and then when they started doing the song, they were like, "Oh no, you can't do this song."
You can't even do that. Huh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Sounds like there was an internal fight as well over what to allow. Huh. That's crazy.
I was pretty angry. I was really looking forward to it.
No kidding. All right, Ibbott.
Okay. I'm going to do a Jack Black style countdown with the three leading up to the number one best concert. But I'm fortunate enough to live in a state that's got one of the best concert venues anywhere, which is Red Rocks. I'd still put it up there against things like the Sphere and Madison Square Garden and the Hollywood
It's
Bowl.
just Sphere.
Sorry, you're right, Sphere, not the Sphere. And I'm the one who usually corrects.
I
people
know.
on
That's
that.
why I'm enjoying
That's
this
the
moment.
funniest part. Yeah.
It'll be The Sphere on the next album.
That's right. Yes. The Suicide Squad, The Sphere. So one of the ones in my list has to be a Red Rocks show, and I've got Peter Gabriel doing the entirety of So front to back, Van Morrison sing The Police with Elvis Costello opening up for him. Probably that one is up there as number 3 for me. It's hard not to have a Red Rocks show on the list. Number 2 was in what's called the attic of the Mercury Cafe. And it's a very small, very intimate concert venue, maybe 100 people. And Jellyfish was touring for their very first album, Belly Button. And if you remember the band Jellyfish, the big hit for them was The King is Half Undressed. They were a psychedelic revival band in the early 90s that wore the mellow mushroom style hats and the big overcoats and things like that. It was, goofy looking Dr. Seuss flowers and things like that. Tina and I got in there. It was one of our early dates. We just started dating. And we're sitting in the back, and I look up close to the stage, and there's the ex-girlfriend that I lived with during college sitting up near the front.
Oh.
And the band about to start, they all come out. This is what reminded me of it, Eileen, when you were talking about the band, talking to greeting people and that sort of thing. All the members of the band came out into the audience with bouquets of flowers, bouquets of roses, and handed them out to, each member handed one out to a woman.
Nice.
Sturmer came out and handed one to Tina, and my ex-girlfriend didn't get one. And of course, and that was the moment.
But she was further up, right? She was further up.
She was closer to the stage, and she looked. It was like that was when she realized that I was in the audience. She looked over and saw me, and just was there giving Tina some flowers. But the number one for me easily, and if you asked Tina the same question, she would say the same thing. We both really like the band Amuse. They're great. Listen to their music all the time. Wouldn't put them up in my top 5 bands of all time. They'd be up in the top 10 for sure, but not in the top 5. But their Will of the People tour from 2023, we didn't know what to expect. We had tickets, ended up with great tickets, second floor, but directly in the back facing the stage. So almost dead center, but high enough that we didn't have the crowd below us, or that we weren't among the crowd below us. So pointed directly at the stage. And they're doing their performance. They've got some cool little light things going on stage. Then the lights go down. They do their own VCR stuff, right, with a video that leads into the next song, maybe for 2 minutes. The lights come back up, and all of a sudden there is a giant animatronic dude on stage. You see the top half of him with his hands like surrounding the band, like he's going to grab them, and he's looking around the crowd, and completely blown away that they got that thing, pulled the curtain back and revealed this guy in the back that we weren't expecting. Halfway through the show, lights go down again, comes back up. That guy, the animatronic dude, is gone. Brand new animatronic with 2 larger arms going into the sides of the audience comes out. Absolutely the most amazing special effects of any show I've ever been to. And now when we hear any of those songs that they performed, all we can visualize is the amazing animatronics from that. It's worth looking on YouTube because they're spectacular live show.
Wow.
It's very transformative. Yeah.
That is a good one.
Tom, do you have one?
It's hard. I almost have to do a top 3 like you did, because in the 90s, I would go see the Wannabes anywhere they were playing in Austin. And I worked with one of the members, loved those guys, knew all their songs. And there's nothing like that. There's nothing like following a band like that, where you just have a personal connection and they're great and it's fun and lots of people come to their shows.
Yeah.
I think seeing Adele at the Warfield in the early 2000s, when Eileen was like, come on, we got to go see this woman. She's a really good singer. I'm like, who's that? Okay, fine. Well, the Warfield, you have to stand. And then just being knocked over by how
So this was
amazing
before
she was.
was-
Yeah,
This
is
was
first
right
album.
before she won Best Artist at the Grammys. Like
Yeah.
right
Okay.
before. Like she was
That's
nervous to
amazing.
go to the Grammys, and she even talked about that because she loves to talk.
Yeah.
So even back
Yeah.
then, she was giving stories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I knew she was really good. I want to say I was there from the beginning, and I was maybe not
Yeah,
early because I
absolutely.
didn't live in the UK. I didn't know who she was playing in
Right.
small clubs. But first album. But yeah, that was amazing concert. Like she's obviously who she is for a reason, because her voice she's one of those, like, you're going to be successful if you can get the right song and have a distinct voice, like hers.
And she was personable too. At that point, she was humble and boggled that people were coming to see her show at as small a venue as the Warfield was, right? She has a much different personality now when you see her residency in Vegas, of course.
Sure.
As it should be. But yeah, I think that one was amazing. And then I'll throw in, like, we had front row seats for Blackpink at Dodger Stadium. Lisa waved at me. Jisoo waved at Eileen and Krista, and they put on a crazy good show. Like there's nothing like that. All right, Amos, let's go to your topic. What would most surprise your teen self about your music habits today? They explain.
Well, so we listen to music differently now than we did back then. I'm not talking about the medium, and not talking about the format. I'm not talking about how we consume. I'm talking about what we consume.
Yeah, it's not like, whoa, you can listen on a phone? What's a phone?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
From 14 to 18 are kind of like the prime years for when you're going to establish the music that you like or that you're going to listen to from the majority of the rest of your life for most people. If you were to talk to yourself at that age, what music are you listening to now that would just blow your teenage self out of the water? Like, holy crap, I can't believe you're listening to that. For me, it would be Hamilton. It's one of my favorite albums. I listen to it on a regular basis. My teenage self would be like, "You what? Why? Huh?
A musical about history?
Like,
musical. Yeah.
The part about history would be the part that my teenage self would be like, all right,
okay, maybe.
I'd give it a chance. But,
Sure.
Well, Iron Maiden does song about history. So if you listen to Iron Maiden, you're already doing history lessons.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be mine. Just anything that far. I've always said that I'm pretty eclectic. That I'll listen to the 80% of anything. It's the extreme 20% that I just can't get into. But yeah, for musicals, it's just Hamilton and a couple other random songs here and there. But that would my teenage self would not understand that.
Are you a Wicked person by any chance? Wicked? Are you into Wicked?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah. Okay.
She means the musical.
Yeah.
With the musical, yes. Are you a Wicked person? Would you watch it, or is that something that I'm just curious because obviously that's a phenomenon right now, right? Like,
I'm waiting for the second part to come out.
okay.
I don't like going into things.
You want to binge the whole series?
Yeah,
The whole series.
just like with Dune, I didn't watch the first Dune until the second one came out, and then I watched both of them back to back. Like it was just. I don't like having the first part of the story and then just being in anticipation for the second part.
Did you do
I
that
lose
with
interest.
Avengers too? Avengers? Did you do that with Avengers
Infinity
too?
War and
finale?
Endgame.
Oh,
Infinity War,
Eileen, you don't know my
Oh,
affinity for the MCU and how much I just adore those movies.
Oh, you hate it. Oh, okay, fine. Never mind.
Wow.
Never
And
mind.
you work with Brian. Wow.
I know.
I feel like I need a towel to drip up mop up the sarcasm.
Okay.
It just proves that there is an opposite for everything in the world because
That's right.
there's Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to Brian then. Given the premise that Amos has laid out, how would you answer?
We talked about our collecting music and buying our first album and that sort of thing. And as a teenager, it was very much a he who dies with the most albums wins kind of thing for me, right? Like it was, I kind of like this band. I'm going to buy every album of theirs. And then when CDs came out, well, now I have to replace every album or in addition to having every vinyl. Now I need the CD versions of all these. What my teen self would be amazed by is how much music I listen to these days from bands that are favorites of mine that I don't buy that, because of streaming services. And this is kind of a technological, we didn't have phones, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. But it's more that my teen self would be amazed at how I've gotten out of the habit of saying, oh, new Squeeze album, got to buy it. New Crowded House album, got to buy it. New whatever. And there's those actually the two I just named, probably along with Divine Comedy, are ones where I will still buy the album regardless of the fact that I can get it all on streaming. But, Sparks has had 3 or 4 albums. They used to be a favorite of mine. They still are a favorite of mine, but I haven't bought any of their albums in a long time.
So the spark has faded.
The spark has faded. Yeah. Yes.
How do you feel about The Thrill?
The thrill is still here of listening to music. I still enjoy, we've got
So your tastes haven't changed, is what
my
it sounds
tastes
like.
haven't changed.
Yeah.
The band Suede just came out with a great new album called Antidepressants last week. Again, a band 10 years ago that I would have instantly bought sight unseen, bought the album without hearing a single song from it. But this was more instant gratification. Friday morning, I woke up and I'm like, I can now listen to the entirety of this album. I don't have to go somewhere and buy it. I don't have to wait for Amazon to deliver it on release day. I can just listen to it first thing when I wake up in the morning.
I get mad when Apple Music is behind the other services.
Sure,
you know, like, come on. This just came out at 9 a.m. It's 9:05. Where is it?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, and then your phone has to acknowledge that it's there, and someone else's might have already acknowledged it, so they're listening to it. They're 2 songs in, and yours
Even
it still
worse.
hasn't showed up on yours.
Yeah.
That's happened to me before too. So
Eileen's always on Spotify way ahead of me.
Well, yeah, no, last week I was waiting just because I wanted to hear it before I went to bed, which I didn't. I was waiting for the second Bieber album to drop, and he said it was going to be midnight. Little did I, and I was like, oh, I guess it's not going to come out. Little did I know he had been posting. I'm so sorry, guys. They said it's ready. It's supposed, like, he's the artist telling people, like, it's supposed to have dropped a half hour ago, and I don't know what's going on.
I gave him the files. I don't know what the deal is.
The export specialist, I don't get it. The developers told me this was fixed.
I'm looking at Dropbox right now. They're right there. I don't know why they're.
I mean, I don't know what time. Like, I'm by like 12:45. I know exactly. Like, I think by 12:45 it finally dropped. But like, I was like, oh, see, even the artists, they're like, I don't know why it's ready. I told you midnight, and I'm here. I'm waiting for it too. Like.
Give me your Discord address. I'll DM you the tracks. Let me know your email.
and of course, on the flip side of that, you have the Kanye, or not Kanye, the Drake and Lamar issue where they were dropping like 32 minutes after each other.
Right.
Too fast. You couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
Well, Eileen, what would surprise you most if you were to confront teen Eileen?
Well, I don't know that I don't know that me listening to K-pop would surprise me, because basically it's about access, right? Like, now we have access to, maybe that would be the most surprising, is that I am now exposed to more types of music than I was originally just listening to radio back in the day, or even watching music videos on MTV, because we have access to like almost everything now. Independent artists are dropping stuff on Spotify, not on a major label. It's not controlled necessarily all by radio or by big labels anymore. We are able to hear things if it's curated or just by word of mouth. You can hear about them. And that's why some of these kids are getting popular, like that somber guy who was on the MTV. I saw him. He got big on TikTok, and I'm assuming he's on a label now. I don't really know his story, but like, he started from the ground up. Like, there's just a lot of artists that are doing that, and some catch on. There's plenty of artists that just don't catch on because people just don't know. But if they did, they might have liked them. So I think that might surprise me more, is that it's not as well curated as it used to be, or as well controlled as it used to be. Which that leads to a whole bunch of other problems in terms of payment and the streaming services, how much you get paid for that. But if we're just talking about exposure and access, I think that would be the biggest thing, because I'm not surprised that I listen to K-pop. It's pop. I love pop. I've always loved pop music. It's just I didn't know about it, until recently. I didn't really get to like listen to unvault that. I've learned I've listened to a lot of Mando pop and Japanese pop, a lot more, because there's I think back in the day, or like, this is the Japanese pop, Japanese J-pop. And maybe I didn't like that. Knife.
Enjoy.
Right. But then there's others that you didn't know about because you didn't have access. They're only pumping out the one group. Now I have access to all of them. So I can be like, oh, I don't like that one, but I like these over here. So I think that would be surprising, is that not just how I get it, but why I'm getting it, and sort of the ease to hear things globally. That's what I like. So of course, if I was a teenager, I'm gonna listen to BTS. I love that kind of music, and it doesn't matter that it's in a different language for me. But I would just be surprised how much more I can listen to now than I could as a teenager.
Yeah. Hammond, what about you?
So I've always had a wide listening palette. Like I've grown up listening to all kinds of genres and all kinds of music. So I think the fact that I still have that would still kind of surprise me, because there was a period of time where I started kind of ratcheting down and narrowing down a little bit. But then with what I do now, I kind of forced to be listening to new music and different genres of music. And it's made me open back up again. And I'm actually feel like I'm got a broader listening palette than I ever have. And I think that's kind of the way it's always been, but it was nice to kind of be in a situation where I kind of had to, and it's fun. I think the thing that my younger self would be surprised about is kind of what Brian said, because I was Captain Completist. If I liked somebody, I bought everything they did. I backfilled everybody's catalog. I had so much stuff. And now I am consciously selective, even with bands that I love, about what I get. And I think that my younger self would probably be a little disappointed that the collector bug that I had that was so strong has been killed.
Yeah. I think my teen self would be shocked that I don't just listen to jazz and classical, because I'm over 50. Like I really honestly
that
like,
makes sense.
because I have very wide tastes. When I was in my teens, I thought I was going to be a DJ, like in all the senses of the word, on radio and doing dances and stuff. And so I was collecting pop, I was collecting rock, I was trying to educate myself on as much music as possible. But in my head, I remember thinking like, yeah, and then when you get old, your tastes change and you start to enjoy sophisticated music. And I don't even know what I meant by that. But, I think I imagined myself, drinking a glass of wine in the evening on the deck of my condo in downtown St. Louis, listening to jazz or something. Like, yeah, I think I would be surprised that I'm still into as wide a variety of music as I am now.
Yeah, I think that would apply to me too. Just the fact that I'm listening to bands and artists now that I would have thought were not beneath me, but I mean, never cared for Bob Dylan. I think this actually might have come up last month when we did this, is that my teen self would be like, seriously, Brian, you're listening to Bob Dylan now? Oh, we just lost Tom.
We did. We lost him.
He had to step
The other
away.
thing I would say is like how expensive tickets are to go see concerts now.
Yeah, sure.
Well, and there are concerts I want to see. Like going back to the concerts a little bit, like I want to see Ghost. I want to see Ghost badly in concert. However, I don't know if I have the money, because he's not going to come through Salt Lake all the time. So I'd have to travel, hotel room, food, concert tickets, whatever merch or swag I want to get. Of course, you have to dress the part to get into a Ghost show, because you can't go looking normal. So,
Right, so you need an outfit. Yeah. I know. Yeah, we were talking about how this is Garbage is about to go out, or maybe they're already out on their last ever North American tour, and they're coming to Denver, and I have my finger over the button to buy tickets. Multiple times I've had my finger over the button to buy tickets, but it's an expense. This is it's, do I pay the electrical bill or do I go see Garbage kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you all about concerts being expensive to attend
I'm
to.
sure. I'm sure. I'll bet. Yeah. And few and far between.
Yeah, we got lucky with Foo Fighters coming up here, and I snagged up tickets to see them. That was amazing. But mostly it's just the fair. Like I see more concerts in August than I do the rest of the year combined, because that's when the fair's in town.
Sure,
So,
that makes sense.
and then it's all the fair acts, the smaller venue stuff.
I saw the
tickets to the Jackson Victory Tour in 1984 were $30 each.
Wow.
In all fairness, that was like 4 tanks of gas, though. So
Yeah.
So $30 is equivalent to $93 today.
I got taken to see the Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA tour at Mile High Stadium before I really fully appreciated Bruce Springsteen. And it's like, that would be my time machine moment. My quantum leap, oh boy, is Can I go back into myself at that age and see Bruce Springsteen, back then? Oh,
Yeah.
the
Well,
big
the reason
man
I
playing sax.
disappeared is I wanted to show you that I still have John Denver's Greatest
Oh,
Hits
wow.
Volume 2.
Sure. Excellent. I almost went and got my Desolation Boulevard album. I do have it right on the other side of the
And
that
then
wall right there.
this is the Columbia House Golden Platinum series
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah.
with the Beach Boys Kokomo.
It's like they went from 1979 to 1980 with those first two you showed.
Yeah. Paul McCartney, Pat Benatar, The Police.
Oh, Pat Benatar, Love is a Battlefield?
Let's see. It is Love is a Battlefield. Good
There you
call.
go.
Yes.
Well done.
Yeah. And the Paul McCartney is Say, Say, Say with Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
It was either that or Coming Up. That was going to be my.
So 1984, probably that. That
No,
volume
that's
right
83.
there.
83.
83?
with
Okay.
82, 83 with Pat Benatar.
1982,
Oh,
83,
okay.
84. So this came out in 84.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it
okay,
covers songs from 82 and 83.
Yeah.
All
We were
right,
all
so
right.
let's go around the horn. If you want to tell people where to follow more of what you do, and then I'll tell everybody where to find daily music headlines, starting with you, Hammond.
At J Hammond C on most platforms and websites. Soundography and Beyond the Playlist.
Amos.
At Ethan Kane, ETHANCAINE on most platforms. And if it's not that, then it's Ethan Kane 77, or you could just listen to my work on Daily Tech News Show.
Brian Ibbott.
At Coverville, and the show's Coverville, The Morning Stream, Soundography, Film Sack, Daily Music Headlines, of course, and much, much more.
Eileen Rivera.
At Face of E on Instagram and TikTok.
Thanks, everyone, for watching our roundtable. If you haven't already subscribed, head over to dailymusicheadlines.com for the info, or just search Daily Music Headlines in your podcast of choice. Just 5 minutes a day, and you'll be smarter about music. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.